The Third Crusade. So we're going to start off talking about the Third Crusade with the major battle before the Third Crusade starts, the Battle of Hattin. Now this is a great Muslim victory under the Muslim leader Saladin. Most of the Crusader army is smashed. It was a brilliant tactical move by Saladin, and I encourage you to take a look at the Battle of Hattin. But for our purposes, all you need to know right now is that the Battle of Hattin, which takes place between the Second and the Third Crusade, the Crusader army is smashed. Jerusalem is helpless. And eventually, Jerusalem is taken by Saladin. Now, Saladin is a leader of the Muslims. He conquers Jerusalem. By most accounts, he is a very honorable man. But as he takes Jerusalem, many people are enslaved. Those who cannot purchase their freedom are enslaved. 1 franc went for a shoe. There were that many people who were enslaved. When news of the fall of Jerusalem reached Europe, the Pope at the time, Pope Urban III, it is said, dies from shock. The Crusaders take up the cross. A special tax comes out of England. And Frederick Barbarossa, the Holy Roman Emperor, Philip II of France, and King Richard of England all take up the cross. Now, going back to the First Crusade, if one were to look at the First Crusade on paper before it took place, you would say, this crusade is not going to work. It's going to fail. The First Crusade, ultimately, is successful. The Third Crusade, if you take a look at it on paper, you will say it's going to be successful. You have the 3 mightiest monarchs of Europe coming to the Holy Land with their armies. Saladin is not happy, and he is quite concerned, as he should be. But the outcome of the Crusades is very different. Frederick dies on his way there. Most of his army returns. Saladin sees this as an act of God. Philip II arrives, as does Richard. But Philip, one of Richard's rivals in Europe, leaves. And he makes a move for Richard's land in France. Richard stays to fight. Richard and Saladin. Richard is never defeated in battle. He can't take Jerusalem, though. He knows that there's no possible way he can keep his forces supplied and hold the land for any length of time. He can't take Jerusalem. And he's worried about his land in France. He settles for a truce, which ultimately he had hoped would lay the groundwork for his eventual return, which never occurs. The Third Crusade ends in a truce.